So I'm just going to be honest with you and tell you all the truth, okay? Because everybody's worried about me. Everybody's like, Rich, you need therapy, all this stuff. I love my wife. I'm not going to say loved. I'm going to say love because it's a permanent love. I love her with all my heart and soul. I did not want my wife to pass away because she was so important to me and the kids. I know it's sometimes not in your control. You can't control these things with cancer and aspiration pneumonia. But my God, we were fighting, both of us. My wife was fighting. I was her advocate. I was in her corner. I was fighting for her, man. I was talking to the doctors every day. I was like, what do we got to do next? What do we got to do? What do we got to do? The only thing that disappointed me was they weren't treating her cancer, which I do feel would have made a major difference. I said it then, I'll say it now, but I couldn't do it. They just felt, they're like, the cancer spread too much. We don't want to do it. We don't want to treat it. It's terrible. She responded well to chemo, my wife. I still don't understand that. I saw her in situations in the past where they said the same thing. They said the cancer, there was this too big of a tumor. It was like a huge tumor on her liver. They were like, there's nothing we could do. And I had to keep fighting them, And they finally gave her chemo and it wiped it right off of her liver. So that's why I kept telling them, I was like, there's got to be something we could do here. But they were like, let's just focus on the pneumonia for now. Let's get her stronger, and then we'll talk about treatment. So that was the plan. The plan was to get her better with the aspiration pneumonia, get her to build up strength, and then focus on the treatment of the cancer. That was the plan. The thing, it was such a hard process because the poor girl had to go like over a month of not eating actual food or drinking anything because if she swallowed it, it would restart the aspiration pneumonia. She couldn't swallow any food or liquid, so they had her on a feeding tube. Heartbreaking, man. I used to feed my wife like a queen. Anything she wanted, I got her all her favorite foods. She loved the Pleasure Bowl. She loved the Dunkin' Donuts. It was so sad. She wanted it too. She was looking at me. She's like, she wanted something to drink. I can't even think about it. It's so heartbreaking. I mean, they gave her those things in her mouth that were like, they did the mouth care and the liquids and those like icy little things they put in your mouth, and they were like going back and forth, and they were cleaning her teeth and keeping her mouth moist. They were doing everything. They were giving her the electrolytes too and the feeding tube, but it just was a sad situation. But the thing is, at the end, she was doing so well. She was fighting. She wanted to be with us. She wound up getting this brain surgery, and they had to get all the liquid out of her brain. It was the, what was it called? The hydrocephalus that was caused by the tumors, but it worked. They first put in a temporary port. It was an EVD. Then they put in the shunt, the permanent one, and they drained all the liquid. It was like she was doing everything great. This is what got me so upset. And then, like the pneumonia cleared up. They said that all her white blood cell counts went back to normal. I was getting so happy. We took her off the ventilator. She was on a ventilator for the second time. The first time she threw up when she was on a ventilator, which made her pneumonia start again. But the second time she didn't throw up. She was so strong, my wife. I mean, this is what it's ripping up and breaking my heart. People are saying, I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her. When she got off that ventilator for the second time, I said, wow. And she didn't throw up. I'm like, this girl's going to make it. She's strong. But then I saw that she was not herself when she got off the ventilator. It looked like she was really having a difficult time breathing. And they decided to put her on the oxygen. They didn't want to put her on a mask, the full mask that covers the mouth and the nose. They just put it on in the nose because they said that they didn't feel that she had strength enough in the event that she would throw up to grab her mask. And she was on the oxygen. She was doing well. So I figured, okay, let's just give her some time, to recover here. And unfortunately, they felt that she had these secretions still in her. That was not from the pneumonia. They felt maybe it was from the ventilator because she was on there for like a while. 14 days the second time. Terrible. But they put these tubes down her throat, which was to get all that secretions up because she wasn't coughing it up herself. And I was seeing it when they were doing it to her. I could saw she was struggling, and she was like, I was telling them, "Can you just stop doing it?" She's all right, stop. I think it caused her to throw up. And then they tried to like, suck up to throw up to get it out of her. But I think that she started to aspirate again. So I just want you to say, this is why people say why I'm having such a hard time. She was like right there. She was so close to actually getting discharged, because what they actually told me was they were going to discharge her if she had the shunt put in, and she did it. And now, of course, if they would have discharged her, she had to go into physical rehab because she wasn't moving her legs, and it was a long road ahead. She would have had to do a lot of stuff, and then eventually get cancer treatment. But I was prepared for it all. I was prepared for it all. I said, okay, let's do it. But once she started to aspirate again, when they stuck those tubes down her throat and she threw up, it was done. Her heart rate started going up. I think she couldn't breathe right, and I was begging them at that point, because they were going to do this thing called a trach, where they were going to put her back on the trach, and it's like a procedure they put in your throat, and they connect you to the ventilator. I still don't understand why they didn't do it. I was screaming at them to do it. This doctor was telling me, no, it's too late. He was like looking at me like I was crazy. In other words, like he was like, accept the fact that your wife is past that point, And I was like, I'm like, do it. He goes, you want me to do it? You want me to go get the surgeons? And he yelled at me like in the hallway. I never forget this. I followed the complete. He goes, I'll go get the surgeons now. I was like, you should. Oh man, I don't know. It's like I'm a mess. I'm a mess. After that, she passed away. You know. You know. She was right there. She was so close. But I mean, even if they would have gave her the trach, I guess. Look, the problem was she wasn't swallowing. She wasn't able to swallow food, like solid food or liquid. She probably would have had to remain on the feeding tube. I know what you're probably thinking. Well, do you think she really wanted to live that way and be on a ventilator? Like the trach is going to be connected to the ventilator. I blocked everything out of all of this. I want you to know. I just blocked it out. I keep seeing her, how she was, my wife, before all of this took place. Like how she was a week before, how she was a month before. And she was 100%. She was so good. That's why this whole thing was so shocking and so, out of left field. It's just, this thing came out of nowhere. So sad. I miss her so much, and I just wish there was something more I could have did. I was fighting for her. I was fighting for her. I wanted her to stay alive. I don't want to live my life without my wife. That's it. I'm forced now. It's like I'm in this quiet house alone without my wife. And these poor kids, my poor kids, Sophia, who's 11, Michael, who's 14, they need their mom. I'm not even talking about that. My mother passed away 2 weeks later. That's another story. I'm just talking about my wife right now. My poor mother, my best friend, my one and only mom passed away. She was so upset over Jennifer too. She was so heartbroken over Jennifer. I mean, it's just so heartbreaking, this situation. But if anybody would like to help our family, we really could use help. We have a Cash App. It's completely up to you if you'd like to do something small. It is the $ RichardLevoi, the $ capital RICHARD, capital L as in Larry, E as in Edward, V as in Victor, O as in Oreo, I as in Idaho. Once again, all this information is in the description of this video. We could really, really appreciate your love and support. We're going through a really tough time, and I'll do a nice video for you. I call it the thank you song, where I play the piano. And I upload this video, a shout-out video for you, for your good deed, and to celebrate the life of my beautiful wife, Jennifer, and my beautiful mother, Josephine. God bless you. God bless your family. Jennifer, my beautiful wife, I will love you for all eternity. Mom, my beautiful mother, I will love you for all eternity.